This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in a featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.
You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Welcome one, welcome all to this online business briefing brought to you by SmallCapVoice.com. And as you just heard, I'm your host, Stuart Smith. And we're joined today for the very first time by U-Vend Incorporated. The company's traded on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol UVND. And we're lucky enough to be joined by the Chief Executive Officer of U-Vend, Ray Myers. Ray, how are you today?
I'm doing great today, Stuart. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for calling me from sunny Southern California, where you're getting a little bit of rain these days. I know you need it bad out there, right?
Definitely. We could probably use another 20 inches of rain out here.
Well, good luck. We need it here in Austin, Texas, too, so I'm pulling for us on this rain debate as well. But let's talk about the company. You're a consumer products and technology company that can encompass a lot of things. For our listeners who may not be familiar with U-Vend, if you would, describe the company and its business model for us.
Sure. Well, U-Vend is essentially a sales and marketing company, and we deliver our products and services through automated retailing platforms, with the main platform being that of being vending machines. So these vending machines are high-tech machines that we place in high-traffic areas.
Well, and there's been some big news out for the company, and we're going to jump into that news a little bit later in the audio interview. But first, let's learn more about our guest and the management team there at U-Vend. If you would, tell us a little bit about your background, Ray.
Well, my background is I was in corporate America for about 20 years, and mostly in the technology side. I ran across a little product called the Internet back in the early 90s, fell in love with it, and I went into the tech service field. I started a number of companies up with concepts and grew them and sold them out. And I had a vision of integrating the new technology available through the Internet and web-enabled machines through the vending space. That's mostly what my background is, Stuart.
And what about some of the other key members of the team there?
Well, we have Paul Neeland, who is the founder and the chief operating officer of U-Vend. He's been in the vending space for many years. He's done a lot of work with McDonald's and large companies like that, designing vending machines, vending kiosks, vending trailers. And he is the creative genius of U-Vend. Then we also have Kathy Brown. Kathy is our CFO. And she has many years of experience of being CFO of numerous public companies, and she brings that stability that every young public company needs into the accurate representation of our numbers.
Well, I think it's important that we call Ray out on something right now. He's incredibly humble about himself and his team. So I want you to go to u-vend.com/management. Paul Nealon worked with and designed for Coca-Cola, Kodak, Häagen-Dazs, Labatt's Brewery, I should say that like a Canadian and not like an American, McDonald's Worldwide, Japan, Amsterdam, 3 Walt Disney parks for them. So lots going on there. And you yourself, Ray, you've already been with a NASDAQ-listed company, so you provide the leadership that this young company needs. Paul's got the as you said, the design aspect of things. And Kathleen, well, she's going to get the numbers done right. And as a former bean counter myself, I think she's doing a terrific job there for you. All bean counters need a pat on the back every now and then.
Oh, well, thank you, Stuart. We believe we have an A-plus management team.
You really do. And with these small companies, that's one of the keys that we always talk about. You know, whether it's diversified revenue streams or established management, these are the things that penetrate markets. And once again, I will foreshadow that news. When we get to that news, you'll understand what I'm talking about, because they've already had some pretty incredible validations for their business model and their products. But before we get there, why don't we hear from you, Ray, looking back on 2014? What do you see as some of the key milestones for the company?
Well, 2014 was an exciting year for us. We were able to complete an acquisition of an operating company located up in Toronto, Canada, and that was Paul Nealon's company, and that's how Paul joined our management team. We actually started operations in 2 U.S.-based regions, one being Chicago and one being Southern California. Chicago, we started early in the year, and Southern Cal, we started late in the year. We also started up operations up in Canada with Paul. We installed and we currently operate 108 of these machines in the U.S., and we really entered into licensing agreements with a variety of companies, and some of them are pretty large, well-known companies. One is Mini Melts, which is a global novelty ice cream product. Another one is Arthur's, which is located up in Canada, and which is a division of Heinz Corporation for healthy smoothie drinks. Another one is Del Monte here in the U.S. for healthy fruit cups and smoothies. And in addition, we entered into a distribution agreement, an exclusive distribution agreement with our vending machine provider, Fast Corp, for the Canadian distribution rights. With that all being said, we also laid a lot of groundwork for success in 2015. So, yeah, I mean, 2014 was very busy for us, but we've accomplished a lot, but we have a lot to accomplish next year.
Well, 2014, simply put, was the year that the rubber met the road for your company. Del Monte Foods is a big name. Some of the names that maybe we aren't familiar with here in the States that your company is working with that you just laid out for us. If you do your due diligence, listeners, these are massive agreements. And what does that tell you about the company and its product? It's valid. These are the validations I'm talking about. When you work with somebody and do a national rollout of Del Monte Foods branded self-serve kiosks and merchandisers, which this press release came out December 13th, and it's talking about the agreement previously announced on October 14th, this is when you know you have an up-and-coming, smart little company to look at and possibly add to your portfolio. So, yes, this is the time to be talking to you, and you just left us off with our next question, which is, 2015 is going to be a big year. What are your personal goals, Ray, for 2015?
Well, 2015 is we intend to keep licensing these unique and novel products out there and services from large brands. We have a number of them that we're actually speaking with now. We intend on extending out our reach in our 2 operating areas as well as up in Toronto, Canada. We are in advanced discussions with several companies at this point for products, and I have to be careful here because I can't lead the market, but we are very active with these companies, and we believe we will get a deal done in 2015 that will extend our reach further in the U.S. and also up in Canada.
Well, the translation is stay tuned, listeners. We're going to be speaking with Ray again over the next few months, and we are going to be right here explaining and getting his personal insight into these developments with these new companies. But in the meantime, hitting those headlines, as I pointed out earlier in the audio interview, and we just talked about December 3rd, U-Vend Incorporated begins national rollout of Del Monte Foods branded self-serve kiosks and merchandisers. Ray touched on this a little bit earlier. In September, U-Vend signs agreement to become exclusive Fast Corp vending distributor in Canada. U-Vend U-Vend acquires operating territory rights in California and Nevada from Mini Melts USA. There's so much to be talking to you about, Ray, but of course, we want to leave them wanting a little bit more here at SmallCapVoice.com. Well, Ray, we're ready to wrap up this audio interview, but before I let you go, we've talked about the product side, and I know in my preparation there's also a technology side. Let's touch on that before I let you go.
We are very excited, Stuart, about our technology side. We developed technology around the digital advertising space, where we will be integrating large digital screens on the front of our kiosk that will allow us to get closer to the consumer. We will be presenting ads to them. We will be presenting detailed product specifications of what they're looking to purchase. And eventually what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a level of push marketing where through registered buyers of our products, they'll receive through text and through the web special offers to come back to that machine or come back to that kiosk to purchase the newest and latest and greatest product there. So this has been in development for roughly about 9 months now. It looks like we will be in a position to roll it out in mid-2015.
Well, that's that diversified revenue stream we were talking about earlier as well. So now we have established management, a validated product, and a new technology that allows for advertising dollars as well as enhanced sales to those vendors that are using these machines. Well, Ray, I want to thank you so much for your time here today at SmallCapVoice.com. We look forward to speaking with you again here in the near future. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Stuart.
All right, for Ray Myers, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com.